Maybe it happens at night. You lie down, hoping to rest, but your mind begins to open every door at once. One thought brings back something you said yesterday. Another thought runs into tomorrow. Another thought reminds you of someone who hurt you, something you lost, something you should have done differently, something you are afraid might happen. The room is quiet. The world outside may be still. But inside, it feels as if 1,000 small voices are speaking at the same time. And the hardest part is not only that the thoughts are loud. The hardest part is that when you are tired, they begin to sound true. A thought says, you are falling behind, and your body tightens. A thought says, you are not enough, and your heart sinks. A thought says you will never find peace, and for a moment, you believe it. Maybe you have been there. Maybe you are there now, trying to calm your mind, but feeling even more anxious because you cannot make it stop. Trying to be positive, but feeling guilty because painful thoughts still return. Trying to move on, but finding yourself pulled back into old memories, old fears, old conversations, old versions of yourself you thought you had already left behind. If this is you, please hear this gently. You are not broken because your mind is noisy. You are not failing because you are still healing. And you are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. That may sound simple, but sometimes simple truths are the ones we need to hear again and again, especially when life feels heavy, when overthinking has become a habit, and when peace of mind feels far away. You are not every fear that passes through your mind. You are not every memory that visits your heart. You are not every sentence your inner voice repeats when you are tired, lonely, or afraid. You are something quieter than that, something deeper, something that can notice the storm without becoming the storm. A thought can say, you are not good enough, but that does not make it true. A thought can say, you will never heal, but that does not mean your healing has ended. A thought can say, no one understands you. But sometimes, a thought is only an echo from an old wound, not the voice of reality. When the heart has been hurt, the mind often becomes protective. It watches closely. It searches for danger. It prepares for rejection before rejection arrives. It imagines the worst, hoping somehow that fear will keep you safe. And perhaps, in its own tired way, the mind is trying to help. It remembers the moments when you were not seen. It remembers the words that stayed in your chest long after they were spoken. It remembers the times you trusted and were disappointed. It remembers the times you opened your heart and were not met with care. So it speaks. It warns. It repeats. It tries to control everything, because somewhere inside it does not want you to be hurt again. This does not mean your mind is your enemy. Maybe your mind is more like a tired guardian standing at the door of your heart, using old tools because it has not yet learned a gentler way. But you do not have to let that tired guardian lead your whole life. You do not have to follow every thought just because it appears. You do not have to open the door to every fear. You do not have to believe every story your mind creates when it is exhausted. Let us pause here for a moment. A thought is not always a truth. A thought is not always a message. A thought is not always wisdom. Sometimes, a thought is only the mind releasing tension. Sometimes, a thought is only an old memory asking to be seen. Sometimes, a thought is only fear trying to dress itself as certainty. And sometimes, a thought is just a cloud passing through the sky of your awareness. A cloud may be dark. A cloud may be large. A cloud may cover the sun for a while. But the sky does not become the cloud. In the same way, your thoughts may fill your mind for a moment, but they do not have to define who you are. You are the space that can notice them. You are the breath that can return. You are the quiet presence beneath the noise. This is where inner peace may begin. Not when every thought disappears. Not when the mind becomes perfectly silent. Not when you never feel afraid again. But when you begin to see that you can have a thought without becoming it. You can have a fear without obeying it. You can have a painful memory without living inside it forever. You can notice the mind moving and still choose to come back to this breath, this body, this moment. Very gently, you can say, this is a thought. This is not the whole truth. This is fear speaking. This is not who I am. This is a memory. This is not where I have to live. Then breathe just one breath, not to fix your whole life, not to force yourself to be calm, not to push anything away, just to create a little space A little space between you and the thought. A little space between the fear and your response. A little space where kindness can enter. Because when you are lost in the mind, every thought feels urgent. Every worry feels like a problem you must solve right now. Every fear feels like a command. But when you pause, even for a few seconds, something begins to soften. You may still feel the thought. You may still feel the worry, but you are no longer completely inside it. You are watching it. You are holding it. You are allowing it to move through you without letting it take your whole heart. This is not weakness. This is a quiet kind of strength. It takes courage to pause when the mind wants to run. It takes patience to breathe when fear wants to rush. It takes self-compassion to sit with yourself when you feel difficult to love. So please, do not use your thoughts as another reason to judge yourself. Do not say, I should be over this by now. Do not say, why am I still like this? Do not say, a peaceful person would not think this way. A peaceful life is not a life without thoughts. A healed heart is not a heart that never feels pain. A calm mind is not always an empty mind. Sometimes a calm mind is simply a mind that is being held with gentleness. Sometimes emotional healing begins when you stop fighting everything that appears inside you. Instead of pushing the thought away, you can meet it softly. Instead of saying, go away, you can say, I see you. Instead of saying, what is wrong with me, you can say, something in me is afraid. Instead of saying, I must stop thinking, you can say, I can return to my breath. Please remember this gently. You do not need to win a war against your mind. You only need to stop letting every thought become your identity. There is a difference between I am afraid and fear is moving through me. There is a difference between I am broken and pain is asking for care. There is a difference between I am lost and a part of me is looking for the way home. The words you use inside yourself matter. They can become walls or they can become doors. When you say, I am my fear, you close around it. When you say fear is here, you create space around it. And in that space, you may begin to feel something you had forgotten. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still more than this moment of pain. Maybe your thoughts have been heavy because you have been carrying too much alone. Maybe your mind has been loud because your heart has not felt safe enough to rest. Maybe overthinking has been your way of trying to protect yourself from being surprised by pain. If that is true, then you do not need shame. You need tenderness. You need patience. You need a safe place inside yourself where even the difficult thoughts are allowed to be seen without being worshipped as truth. Imagine sitting beside a river. Leaves fall onto the water. Some are bright. Some are dark. Some move quickly. Some circle for a while before floating away. You do not need to jump into the river after every leaf. You can sit on the bank and watch. This thought is worry. This thought is regret. This thought is planning. This thought is fear. This thought is an old story. And I am here, watching the river move. At first, this may feel impossible. The mind may pull you in quickly. You may forget again and again. That is okay. Forgetting is part of practice. Returning is part of healing. You do not need to return perfectly. You only need to return gently, one breath at a time, one moment at a time, one small act of kindness at a time. When your mind becomes loud, try this. Place one hand over your heart if that feels right. Let your shoulders soften a little. Let your jaw loosen. Let your breath come naturally. You do not need to breathe in a special way. Just notice that breath is already here. Then say inwardly, I am noticing my thoughts. I do not have to fight them. I do not have to become them. I am here. Wait for a moment, not for something dramatic, not for a miracle, just for a little more space than before. Maybe only one quiet second. Maybe only one softer breath. That is enough. A small space is still a doorway. A small breath is still a beginning. A small moment of awareness is still a lantern in the dark. You can also ask yourself very gently, is this thought helping me right now? Is this thought protecting an old wound? Is this thought asking for care? What would I say to a dear friend who is thinking this? Often, you will discover that you speak to yourself in a way you would never speak to someone you love. You would not tell a tired friend, you are weak. You would not tell a hurting child, you should be over this. You would not tell someone who is afraid, your fear makes you unworthy. So perhaps today, you can begin to offer yourself the same kindness you would offer another soul. Not all at once, not perfectly, just a little. When a harsh thought appears, soften your voice. When an old memory returns, place it down gently. When fear begins to speak loudly, answer with patience. You might say, I hear you. I know you are afraid, but we are here now. We do not have to live inside this story tonight. We can breathe. We can rest. We can begin again. This is how you slowly teach the mind that it does not need to scream to be heard. This is how you teach the heart that it does not need to hide to be safe. This is how peace of mind begins to return, not by force, but by friendship with yourself. There may still be difficult days. There may still be nights when the thoughts come back like rain. There may still be mornings when you wake up with a heaviness you cannot explain. But even then, you can remember, weather is not the sky, waves are not the ocean, thoughts are not the whole of you. There is a wider place inside you, a quiet place, a place that has held every season of your life. It held your joy, it held your grief, it held your confusion. It held the versions of you that did not know what to do next. It held the moments when you were strong, and it held the moments when you could only survive. That quiet place has not left you, even when you forgot it was there. Even when the mind became loud, even when fear covered everything like fog, it remained open, patient, waiting for you to come home. Maybe coming home to yourself is not a dramatic event. Maybe it is not a sudden awakening. Maybe it is much simpler. Maybe it is the moment you stop believing that every painful thought is a final truth. Maybe it is the moment you stop abandoning yourself because the mind is afraid. Maybe it is the moment you place a hand on your heart and say, I am still here. I am allowed to be gentle with myself. I do not have to solve everything tonight. Let this be enough for now. You do not have to understand your whole life in this moment. You do not have to become fearless. You do not have to prove that you are healed. You do not have to carry every old story into tomorrow. You only need to come back to what is real right now. This breath, this body, this quiet moment, this small light within you. And maybe, from here, the next step will be clearer. Not the whole road, just the next step. Drink some water. Open a window, write down the thought that has been circling in your mind, and then write beside it. This is a thought, not my whole self. Take a slow walk. Sit in silence for 3 minutes. Send one kind sentence to yourself. Let something be unfinished for tonight. Let your nervous heart know that it does not have to be on guard forever. These are small things. But healing often begins with small things. A softer breath, a kinder sentence, a pause before reacting. A moment of choosing not to follow the old fear, a decision to return to the present instead of disappearing into tomorrow. And each time you return, you strengthen the quiet part of you, the part that can witness, the part that can hold, the part that can love you, even when your mind is not peaceful. Over time, you may begin to notice that thoughts still come, but they do not own you in the same way. Fear still visits, but it does not always move into your home. Old memories still arise, but you do not always have to become the person you were inside them. You can let them pass. You can let them teach you. You can let them soften. You can let them leave. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that can notice them. You are the heart that can learn to answer them with compassion. You are the quiet space beneath the noise. You are the sky, not only the passing cloud. You are the ocean, not only the rising wave. You are the lantern, not only the night around it. And when the night feels long, you do not need to become brighter than you are. A small light is enough. A small breath is enough. A small return is enough. So tonight, or whenever these words find you, let yourself rest from the fight. Let the mind speak, but do not let it become your master. Let the thoughts come, but do not let them steal your whole identity. Let the fears rise, but meet them with the kindness you have been waiting to receive. May you remember that you are wider than your worries. May you remember that you are deeper than your pain. May you remember that peace is still possible, even if it begins as only one quiet breath. May you stop believing every thought that speaks against your worth. May you learn to hold your mind with compassion instead of fear. May you return to yourself gently, in your own time. And may this small lantern stay with you as you continue your healing journey. Thank you for staying here for a while. If these words brought even a little quiet to your heart, you are welcome to continue walking with Soul Lantern Journey. And if your heart feels called, you may leave one small thought in the comments. Not a perfect thought, not a wise thought, just something true. A word, a feeling, a little sign that you are here. Because sometimes healing begins with the simplest truth. I am here, I am breathing, and I am not my thoughts.